Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome into another edition of the NCAA Hoops Hour. I am the big man on campus, getting you ready here for another day in college basketball. Big time Tuesday card coming at you. We'll break it down for you in just a little bit. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. I know we have people all around the world, all around the country that listen to the show. Hope your Tuesday went well. For me, it went quite well. So hopefully it went well for you. We will get to a lot of games here. I got plenty to take a look at. I got one or two free plays for you. Last night on the show, very successful night. Threw out Belmont over, DePaul over. I threw out Bowling Green. I threw out Drake. Drake didn't win, but the others won. So it was a very efficient night here on the show. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me know you're out there. Say hello in the chat box. Do me a favor, retweet the show. If you're on Twitter, it's always helpful. I thank all of you for joining me on a regular basis. Don't forget, 6:30, Ski Prophet will be back. He'll be joining me around that time. We will go over the entire NBA card. Coming off a winner last night in the NBA, we'll look to find another one tonight. We'll get back to our consensus plays in the NBA, which when Ski and I put our heads together, 5-2 on the consensus plays. So it has been fun doing those, and I'll look forward to seeing Ski back again. Before we do get to the show, I wanted to just kind of tell you about what I'm doing. I know a lot of you have joined up already, but I do want to make you all well aware that my premium website is available. You can go check it out now at bmocwins.com. I have a premium monthly service where you're getting all my picks. You're getting analysis. You're getting audio each day of why I like the pick. I'm going to do a weekly service where I'm giving you great info you're not going to find anywhere else. So it's more about analysis and info as opposed to just picks. So if you want to join me, it's very cheap. You can come on for a year. You can come on for a month, whatever you want to do. I do have a basic service that's more or less just there, be there. I don't, again, you're only going to get 2 picks off that each month. I just kind of have it there just in case there's someone that really can't afford to go bigger. But, I feel that $89.95 is very fair for a month. You're going to get at least 6 picks a week. I generally do about 8 to 12 picks a week. So, if you want to join me, you can come find me. Starting on Monday, this show is going to be cut down a little, significantly. I'm not going to cut it down a lot, but I'm not going to be on it for 40 minutes going over every game. Most of my work that I'm going to be doing is for the people that pay me for the work. I'll still come on here and I'll break down 5, 7, 8 games, but I'm not going to be, guys, again, I'm going to make this abundantly clear. I've done a lot of free content over the years. I'm doing a lot of work for people. And really up until yesterday, I'm not making any money off this. I'm really just trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to make it, monetarily the right thing to do. And, all the content here, even YouTube, I've got to start doing things for myself. Most of you don't work at your jobs for free. So, if you don't want to pay for picks, and if you feel that the other work we're doing here is worth paying for, we're probably going to get a Patreon going here. It's not going to be expensive. It's only going to be, $20 a month or something like that. But, we're definitely going to make some changes to what I'm doing here. I can't keep bringing on Ski and Donnie and Joe Duffy and all these different people. I'd like to start bringing on guys like Peter Loshak and people like that. That costs money to bring those people on. I can't do it for free. So, things are going to be changing here. I felt that I've been very giving as far as my time. And I've said earlier today, like right now, I'm not getting any money to do this show. It takes me an hour to prepare for all this stuff. The NBA show, it takes us time to do that. We don't just come together and just throw it together, So, yeah, you gotta just, sometimes you gotta start to give back at some point. And, I wanted to do things as far as like, on the Patreon, start giving to some charities and really start involving people. So, we got to do some things. You should put your website in the description of the videos. Yeah, I might start doing that. But there it is right there. All right, let's get into some picks here. I want to start out with Creighton and Michigan. This is kind of a big game tonight. Creighton, Michigan. Michigan's a 5.5-point favorite. Total's 154. Total continues to get hammered here. A lot of people betting this game over the number. And look, I mean, Creighton over the years has been a great over team, but this is a big number, especially against a team in Michigan that generally is very good defensively. The thing about Michigan, though, is they're a different team. They're looking to go a little bit more up tempo this year. The pace is obviously a lot better with Juwan Howard as the new coach. And I think Michigan tonight's probably going to have a field day down low. One of Creighton's real deficiencies coming into the season was they don't have a capable big man. Martin Krimpelli graduated and moved on. They don't have a competent replacement for him. And Michigan could have a big night. John Teskey and Xavier Simpson in the pick and roll could be a fun matchup tonight. A lot of post-up moves for Teskey. He could be look, if there was fantasy for college, Teskey could have a big night here. And I think that's one of the reasons this number's at 5.5. Creighton's there. I like their guard play with Tyshawn Alexander, but this Michigan team long always can defend well. The total's high. I just don't think this is like an 82-74 type of game. I just don't. I kind of had it more in the 70s, 74-70, 76-71, something like that. This number's getting a little out of hand for me. I know the pace is obviously going to be a lot better for these teams this year, but it's still a Michigan team that generally is, for the most part, pretty slow. This isn't, Citadel or anything. You're looking for the first two games or first game of the season. They weren't incredibly quick. I mean, tempo was about 149. I mean, it's pretty average. The offense was good. It wasn't great. I had this game at like 145-ish personally, but Creighton is obviously going to be, anytime you see the Blue Jays, you're going to expect offense, but and look, their pace is going to be high, and that's one thing they definitely do is go quick. But this is a high total. You need a lot to go right here with these two teams. So I'm not going to be betting. I'm going to sit it out, but I definitely find it interesting that the total's gotten this high. Okay, couple of comments here. You already know I'm here for college basketball, even though you block me on Twitter. Look, I block you. You know why I block you, man. I'm not trying to fight with people no more on Twitter. I don't have time for certain crap. I just don't really deal with it. I just certain people I just mute or block. I'm not going to block every single person I come in contact with, but if you say something personal to me or something dumb, I don't really have time for it anymore. I'm not going to go out of my way to be a dick and block you, but if I've had run-ins with you before, I'm not going to try to belittle you and continue. I'm just going to kind of move on. All right, Northeastern laying 2.5 at UMass. I like Northeastern. I like this team a lot. I like Bill Cohen. Always liked that offense that they run there. I think this number is too low. I would have put it more towards like 4.5 as opposed to 2.5. Northeastern's looking to kind of finish up the UMass area travel. They had Harvard the other night. Now they get UMass tonight. This is a UMass team that is not particularly good. I know their schedule will kind of make it look like they are, but you've beaten UMass, Lowell, and Fairfield. Nothing really to write home about there. This is a team really devoid of scoring. They lost LaJuan Pipkins in the offseason to a transfer. Defensively, they're not great. This is a team that wasn't really good at all last year defensively. And I'll tell you what, I really like Jordan Rowland, Northeastern's guard. Terrific player. He dropped a 40 the other night. Walker's been a really nice piece for him at the 2 guard. They've got some glue guys in the paint that have been really good. And I'm not big outside of Carl Pierre for UMass. It's not a lot to really go home with there. They're not a particularly good rebounding team, really. So they can't really shoot the 3. So, I think for Northeastern, this should be a solid game. You should be able to get out in and get the job done in. This number seems a bit low to me. I thought it'd at least be 3.5. 2.5 seems a bit low in this one. I'd be looking towards the Northeastern Huskies in this one. Evansville and Kentucky. Interesting game here. Evansville getting 24.5. Total's 141. Total's has been bet up. I still think it's low. It opened 137. It's all the way up to 141. Obviously, if you're betting totals early in the season, if you're getting that early on these numbers, you can get a lot of CLV. I'd bet this really up to 143-ish. You look at Evansville, their coach is Walter McCarthy. Walter McCarthy actually won the national title with Kentucky back in '96. They had a team, I think Tony Delk was on that team, and Rick Pitino was the coach of the group back then. So this is kind of a cool thing for McCarthy to come home to his alma mater and coach an Evansville team that I don't think is real bad. This is a pretty decent basketball team. They always are going to play with the pace. That's one thing about Evansville last year that you've got to think is going to continue. Under McCarthy, I think pace. They were the fastest team last year in the Missouri Valley. They love three balls. KJ Riley's a really good player for Evansville. And one thing you have to respect about McCarthy is he's bringing in guys. He brought in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's brother. He's kind of a pogo stick 4. Evansville's a pretty solid team. I'm not saying that they're going to cover here or anything, but I'm willing to think that they can contribute on the scoreboard. I'm willing to think they can get to 60, 65. I think if they can do that, this game will go way over. Kentucky's look good offensively. They're not going to be without I don't think E.J. Montgomery's going to play tonight, but the guard should really overwhelm Evansville. I think you get a really good pace in this game. Evansville, the one thing about them you always have to respect is under McCarthy, they've been a really good tempo team. And you look at through 2 games so far, Kentucky's going really fast. I mean, they're 84th in the country in possession length. You look at on defense, they're even faster. So they're speeding teams up, making them go quick, making them play in transition. They want to get out and go. I don't see any reason Kentucky can't get to the 80-point mark here. I think if they can do that, this game goes over the number. And I think overs are going to start coming in a little bit more fast and furious here. I think the real question is going to be, is Evansville going to be good enough offensively? They're going to put up enough points. And I'm willing to think with the talent they have on this team, I'm willing to think they can get to the 60-point mark. Keep in mind, there are 2 ways a team covers games as big underdogs. I've talked about this. Getting to the free throw line, making your free throws, and 3-point shots. You look at in that first game against Ball State, Evansville shot the ball at 47% from 3. That's really where they want to be. They like threes. They like transition. This one should suit an over here if I had to play it. Couple comments. What's up, Russ? Salty Dog, Blake, Harlem J, Russ B, Crypto Capper, Daniel, Joey, David, Adam, Mike, Yergs, Ryan Dow. Thanks for watching, David. Koftaigian. Thank you for watching. David Koftaigian. You must be Armenian. Good Armenian name there. Used to follow you on Sports Book Review with Alex from Need for Tips. Good. I'm glad to hear it. I hope Alex is doing well. I haven't talked to him in a while. But again, I haven't talked much with anyone at SPR. I hope those guys are doing well, though. What do I think of Pacers -2? I mean, fuck, man. Listen, guys, if you're fucking talking to me on a college show about NBA, I'm not going to talk to you. The NBA show is at 6:30. I don't know how many times I've got to say that every day. Thanks for watching, Joey. I know you're high on Xavier. Any thoughts at -5? I didn't have much on that game. Mizzou's actually a pretty solid team. They beat them last year. I know that Xavier's healthy again, so that's good. They get Scruggs back. Defensively, they should overwhelm them. If I had to play it, I'd take Xavier, but it's not what I'm going to be betting. It's cold here in the Northeast. Yeah, it's been real cold. Oregon, Memphis. Yeah, I would take Oregon here. I worry about Memphis. It's a tough trip. You get a lot of kind of off the court issues going on with Memphis. This is a long trip. This is a young team against a really experienced group in Oregon. Peyton Pritchard's going to bother whoever plays point guard for Memphis. I think Dana Altman's smart enough to say, you know what? We are not going to run here. Dana's groups are not ever really fast-paced. I think they're going to make Memphis play in the half court, and I think that's bad news for Memphis. I think they really struggle in this game. I think they kind of get bitch slapped, to be honest. Pritchard, Richardson, Okuru, Mathis, Houston. This is a tough game for Memphis. This is just a game. If you're looking at size, experience, a bench. When you're a young team, this is the last team you want to play. I think that experience really helps Oregon tonight. You look at an experience, they are one of the, I think they're top 130 in the country. This is an experienced group with a really good point guard that doesn't turn the basketball over. I would probably, if I'm looking at Oregon, Memphis, I would probably bet this game up to, what's the number here currently? Fuck, man, so many fucking games. Yeah, I'd probably bet it up to 4.5. I think I'd much rather have 3.5. You know, if you kind of liked Oregon, you should have bet it early in the day, like I was talking about earlier. But I think Memphis is going to be kind of overwhelmed in this game. It's hard to really go off of what Memphis has done so far. They've looked really good doing it, but they should be able to really overwhelm Illinois, Chicago, and South Carolina State. This is a big class touch up on the road. Tough spot. All of you guys, thanks for watching. Does Davidson bounce back against Charlotte? They should be able to. Keep in mind, that's pretty good under game there. Charlotte plays with really slow tempo, good defensive team. Their coach is actually a former Virginia disciple, so he's going to be a guy that really wants to slow the tempo. How do we donate to the channel? You don't need to donate right now. We're working on getting a Patreon together. You guys can get on board with that, and you can see all the content at that point. Cal won't want to embarrass McCarthy, so don't expect a huge blowout. Yeah, I don't believe in that. That's generally not very true. Cal and Walter McCarthy understand what's going on here. And first of all, Cal can't really control. If they're up 40, you can't really control winning by 25 or 23. I don't believe that. If you listen to some of his press conferences this week, look, Cal and both these guys understand how basketball works. The whole, like, he doesn't want to embarrass this guy. Like, that doesn't, I don't think that goes through these coaches' minds. It just doesn't. Thanks for watching, Gabe, Scott, Trey. Easton, what's up? Is Wiseman playing tonight? As far as I know. Thanks for watching, Joe, Shelby, Levi. All right, let me get back to some of my breakdowns here. Keep going through a couple of these games. St. Bonaventure and Siena, fascinating game here. I really like the spot here for Siena. I talked about the other night. We just got kind of bad beaten in that game, but everything I said about St. Bonaventure was true. They just can't score right now, and that's really the big issue for Mark Schmidt's team. They can't find the bottom of the basket. This team is shooting 15% from three through 2 games. They're 7 for 46 from three. Now you got to go on the road and take on a team in Siena who is ripe to beat you. Keep in mind last year, St. Bonaventure beat Siena by 40. Jalen Pickett, those guys, don't forget this. This is an experienced team, Siena, very deep group, good rebounding group. Siena is always a good rebounding team. They were like that under past regimes, and they're like that under this regime as well. I talked about as well on Friday, St. Bonaventure's playing without Osone Asuni, who is their big rim protector. He's huge for them defensively, and what he does in the offense is St. Bonaventure's a very pick-and-roll centric team. He's huge in that pick-and-roll game, and it's shown in their 2 games. They've not gotten 60 points in either game. The 3-point shot has not been there. And against Siena, you're going to have to score the basketball. Jalen Pickett can drop 50 on you any day of the week. Donald Carey's given them a really solid 2-guard to go along with Pickett. I really like this Siena team. I think they're going to be a real force in the MAAC this year. I think to get some revenge this year as a home dog tonight against Bonaventure. They call this the Franciscan Cup or Classic, whatever. They're 2 Catholic schools, Siena and Bonaventure. I think Bonnie get a little revenge here and win this game as a home doggy. John Tango is a first-time listener. Thanks for watching, John. Hope you enjoy the college basketball stuff. We got 6:30. We got the NBA card as well. We'll break that all down for you. What else do we have here tonight? Auburn, South Alabama. This is an interesting game. This is a game where I definitely believe South Alabama is going to be up for this one. This is a tough trip off of a big win the other night for Auburn. This is a tough trip. South Alabama is a team that I think will win the Sun Belt this year. Richie Riley's got a good team. Josh Ajayi is a terrific player. And if you look at most experienced teams in the country, South Alabama is the most experienced team in the country. Number one, they're averaging 2.83 years of experience for each player. So basically, what that buys down to is most players on this team are seniors. They're not a deep group, which concerns me. But offensively, they get to the 10, they get to the line, they don't turn the ball over, and they make their free throws. You look at through 2 games, they're shooting 91.7% from the free throw line. That is how you cover. Okay? You get into the lane, you create, and you don't turn the ball over. If you know anything about Auburn's defense, you've got to be able to protect the basketball. If you can do that, you will have a shot against Auburn. I've not had a lot of success betting against the Tigers, but I think this is a game where South Alabama will get up for it. I like South Alabama. As I said, I think South Alabama will win the Sun Belt this year. I think Richie Riley will get back to the tournament, and I think Ajayi is the best player in this conference. So this should be a pretty good game to watch. Should be decent pace here. But I'll go with a team right now in South Alabama that I think will be up for this game. You've got a team in Auburn that's had trouble protecting the basketball. They're turning the ball over a lot through a couple games here. That was an impressive win the other night against Davidson. I was really impressed with what they were able to do there. But again, Davidson just didn't shoot the ball particularly well. They're not going to shoot, 29%. I think next time these two teams played, Grady and Gudmundson only had 13 combined points. Just a bad night for those guys. I think South Alabama will be a little bit more game in this one. I think they could be a dangerous dog tonight. Liberty and South Carolina State. I talked about this game earlier on the right side of campus. I like the under in this game. One thing I know about Liberty is they're a suffocating defensive group. Their coach is a disciple. Richie McKay is a disciple of Tony Bennett. He was a Bennett assistant coach for years, and he's taken that defensive principle down to Liberty. Liberty has played terrific defense over the first 2 games, and they're getting a MEAC team again in here. We know about the MEAC. This is not a good offensive conference, and this is not a team in South Carolina State that's going to be very good this year. They have trouble scoring. They have trouble solidifying the paint. They have trouble rebounding. They have trouble doing everything. And this is a defense that was horrible last year. I'm thinking they're going to make some strides defensively. I think this total's low. Liberty is the slowest team in the country through 2 games. I think that continues here. I think this is a case of I don't think South Carolina gets to 55. This total at 135.5, I'm willing to think is worth taking under. Too high to me. Central Arkansas Duke. I was actually talking about this game earlier at the barbershop. My barber is a big Duke fan. He was down there over the weekend to see them play Colorado State. And, look, they shouldn't have any trouble tonight with Central Arkansas. Baylor destroyed Central Arkansas earlier this season, game 1. Duke should win by 50. This should be the blowout of the night. This probably resembles Binghamton Duke or Binghamton Michigan State the other night. I would be totally fine with laying this number. This should be a complete destruction. Let me get to a game that I also think is going to be a destruction tonight. Notre Dame Howard. Notre Dame is going to destroy Howard. Howard is a new coach. Kenneth Blakeney. He was a Duke player years ago. They're going to have some real trouble. You lose R.J. Cole, who transferred to UConn. He was really your only player last year that you could write home about. Notre Dame should really control this game. Notre Dame is really good offensively. They're improved defensively. Pfluger's terrific. They should have any trouble tonight with Howard. Another game that we've talked about ad nauseum, this team, Mississippi Valley State University, who has been a favorite of this show as far as fading. I'm not going to necessarily fade them tonight, but I actually like the over in this game. You got a total here at 160.5. I'm going over. You're looking through 3 games. Mississippi Valley State has given up 129 points a game. Look, it's pretty simple. I mean, Western Michigan's going to score 100 points in this game. I mean, you looking at that game against Central Michigan, Mississippi Valley State gave up 100 points with 10 minutes to go. I mean, on the low end, they're going to score 100. I figure 115-ish. And Mississippi Valley, I mean, for the record, they haven't been that bad offensively. I mean, they weren't good against Utah, but I think in this game, one thing I know about Steve Hawkins' teams at Western Michigan, they're never particularly good defensively. And you look at in 2 games, I mean, they scored 74 against Iowa State. Mississippi Valley scored 78 the other night. This total's way too low. I mean, until they start catching on with Mississippi Valley State totals, I'm betting them over. You look at Mississippi Valley pace-wise, 29th in the country, 13.7 seconds possession length. That is really fast. And they're actually number 1 in the country, guys, in defensive pace. They're allowing opponents to just destroy them. Western Michigan, Brandon Johnson is a really good player. Michael Flowers is one of the better players in this conference. This is going to be my play of the day on the show. If I was doing premium selections, this would be one. This is my favorite play on the board tonight. Until the books start catching up to these, I really don't have any reason to not bet them. I just don't. I think Western Michigan is better offensively than Central Michigan. I'm not going to tell you shouldn't lay the points here, but I think the better play is just betting the over. I think this is a high-scoring game. High-scoring game. I think it's like a 115-73 type of game. 118-70, 120-80 or something. Like I think it's a high-scoring game. Really high-scoring. It wouldn't surprise me if it gets to 200. Seriously. And again, I mean, we look at the point totals here for Mississippi Valley. They've given up 110, 143, and 134. That's 129 a game. And tonight, you're going to face a Western Michigan team that I think is better than Central Michigan, personally. Both teams are going to play at lightning paces. I don't know what I'm missing here. So I'm going to rock with that one as my free play. Any thoughts on Minnesota Butler? 2 coaches I hate. I hate Richard Pitino, and I'm not a big fan of Lavelle Jordan either. Not a game I'll be betting on. I hate bad coaches. What are your thoughts on the Creighton, Michigan game? Already talked about it. You have to listen back. My son plays volleyball at CAU. That would be Central Arkansas University. Good for him. Good luck. That's awesome. Calvin Blair is asking about Chicago State. Yeah, I'm not betting on that game, bro. Eastern Illinois, I don't think should be laying that kind of number to anybody, but I'm not taking Chicago State. Shelby Richards says Auburn over South Alabama. Okay. Yeah, I like the other side there. I like Miami. Any thoughts? Yeah, that line doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I'm gonna sit out on that one. Just because Central Florida hasn't looked great early on. That doesn't really matter in this game. This is a big game. I think both teams will be up for it. I think one thing we know about Johnny Dawkins' teams, they're always really good defensively. They still have some guys there that can defend their asses off. Guys like Colin Smith and Devon Ingram and Frank Burtz, Cesar DeJesus, Matt Milan. Like this is still a good team. And look, the fact that they only beat Prairie View by 4 points in the first game of the season, I don't really think that's that terrible. I mean, Prairie View is actually a pretty good team. They're not great defensively, but I don't care that they didn't play well in that game. This team's been good defensively. They're going to be good defensively this year. This one stinks to me. I would take the points, frankly. If I had a free bet on this game, I would take the points. Do I like Tulane tonight against Jackson State? Not really. I like Tulane, but this is a game you could stub your toe on. I think one thing about Jackson State is, their goal is to play really slow and defend. It's not going to be on my card. I'm not playing it. I mean, if you like Tulane, you like Tulane. But Tulane's still not a great team. They're just not. So, would I be running to lay, almost double digits with them? Not really. Not really. And one thing about Jackson State you got to like is through 2 games, I mean, they are not turning the basketball over. I mean, 54th in the country in turnover percentage. That's one good thing you like. They are a pretty experienced team as well. They got a deep bench. So that's something that you can obviously be kind of happy about here. But, do I think that Tulane can win this game by double digits? Sure. I mean, they were able to beat Southeastern Louisiana. So, yeah, I mean, if you like Tulane, you like Tulane. I just feel like there are better games on the board for my liking. All right, what else do we have here? I got to order something here. Give me 1 second, people. People ask about Army Air Force. I have no opinion on that game. I'm not a big Army basketball guy. I don't like the Patriot League really. And Air Force was really disappointing the other night against Idaho State. So it's not going to be one that I'm betting. Is Oregon State any good offensively? Sure they are. Pac-12 is really good. I love the Pac-12 this year. Every team is solid. This Oregon State team is off a really nice win at Iowa State. I mean, Iowa State's a top 50 team. That's a big-time win. This should be a close game. This should be a fun game to watch. If you like neutral basketball, like you don't like either team, you just like basketball, this is the game for you. This should be a fun game. You've got guys on both sides that are good. You look at a guy like Austin Reeves, Brady Manick, Davion Harmon. You look at Oregon State, Trace Tinkle. He's been there for years. Ethan Thompson. It's a good game. This should be a good neutral game to watch if you like both teams. I would still give the slight advantage to Oklahoma. I just like what they do defensively a little bit more. I love Jamal Bieniemy. I like Manick. I think they kind of suit each other as teammates and front court mates. But I like Tinkle's team. They're a good group. Tinkle's a great player. Trace Tinkle, his son. Like it. Like this game. Should be a fun game to watch. I like Washington State a little tonight as well. I like the trajectory of that team. Kyle Smith has that team playing well to start the season. I think they're going to be a thorn in a lot of team sides this year. Santa Clara shouldn't be a favorite to Washington State. I'm sorry. Look, Steve Nash ain't walking through the door for Santa Clara. KJ Fagan is gone. They have some playmakers there, but for me, Herb Sendek's team should not be a favorite over Washington State. But there you go, guys. That's about it for me. So, yeah, there you go. I broke down 20 games probably. Thank you, Ash. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. Thanks, all of you, for joining me. I appreciate your participation, as always. Before we go tonight, I did want to bring up something. I was watching American Greed last night, and I was watching the Firefest episode where, we all have seen the Firefest movie, but American Greed did a little bit more digging into the actual fraud. And, Billy McFarland fascinates me. I think he's fascinating. The kind of guy, he's a shithead scam artist, but just the way he was able to, scam people and get them to buy in and believe what he was selling. The fact that he got so many people, not once, not twice, but 3 or 4 times to buy villas and to put money on wristbands and just his sheer, everyone's here. They're all fucked. I'm just going to leave and fucking go home. I don't care if the feds are after me. I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to go out on bail, and then I'm going to start another scam. And then he only gets 6 years out of it. He's only going to do 6 years. Now, Billy McFarland's 27. He's going to be out in 2023 So he's got 4 more years, but he's only going to be 30 at that time. I don't know about you, but he's writing a memoir right now, Billy McFarland. From what I understand, he's writing a memoir in prison about his life and how all the fraud that he pulled. I got to tell you, I can't fucking wait to read that. That is going to be a fascinating book to read. And he'll make a ton of money off that book, and, it'll be fine. The fact that he only got 6 years for that is, I think, pretty good. I thought he would have got like 15. Fascinating guy. Really fascinating. Shithead scam artist, but a fascinating guy nonetheless. Any other comments tonight? Not really going to do any more games, but if I had to play a game tonight, it would be Mississippi Valley State and Western Michigan over 60 and a half, 160 and a half. Thank you for watching, Scott Schneider. Foost, thanks for watching. If you guys want, my premium plays are going to start Monday, November 18th. The site is live, bmocwins.com. Go check me out. I'll have a couple premium selections there every night. That's where the best of the best go to get their college info. All right. Join us at 6:30. Going to take a little respite here. Got a little hour or so. I've already done my NBA capping, so I'm going to be just kind of sitting back and get ready for the show. Have I heard the new Dave East album? I have not. The Ronick story about Jordan was awesome. It's definitely good. I always like to hear those kind of stories for sure. But all right, I'm out of here. You all enjoy your night. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Wednesday, Hoops Hour, 5 o'clock Eastern. Thank you for watching. See you at 6:30.